Hi there! If you've been spending too much time checking for shipping overcharges, this tutorial will help you save hours and make your workflow seamless. Let's dive in. Part 1. Getting your Excel ready for automation. Before we start, make sure you don't have any existing macros saved in Excel, as this method will override them. This process is ideal for sellers on the Cashback program and where most orders are charged at the lowest shipping tier. Take a moment to check this before moving to the next step. Now, let's download the macro file by clicking on the link provided in the video description. On this page, hit the blue download button to get the personal.xlsb file. Once it's downloaded, let's move on to placing it in the right folder. Here's how to move the file. Right-click on the downloaded personal.xlsb file and select Cut. Next, go to your Excel Start folder. You can find it inside your C drive as indicated on the screen. Pause the video here if you need to. Lastly, paste the file into this folder. This ensures Excel can access the macro every time it starts. Next, we will need to add the Developer tab if you do not see it inside your Excel. Open a new Excel workbook and go to the File menu. Select Options, then click Customize ribbon. Tick the Developer box to add it to your toolbar. The Developer tab is where we'll set up and run the macro. Next, we will create an automation button to run the macro. First, click to expand the Developer tab, then select New Group. Rename this group to Click to Run. Click OK and OK again. This button will activate the automation process with one click. Now we will need to assign the macro to the Click to Run button we have just created earlier. Under Choose Commands from, select Macro. Select the Process Billing Data macro. Click Add, then OK to assign it to the button. You're all set to automate. One last thing to check. To enable macros permanently so that Excel always runs the macro without prompting, go back to File, then select Options. Go to Trust Center, then select Trust Center Settings. Next, select Macro Settings, choose Enable All Macros and click OK. And we are ready to go. You don't have to repeat the setup again when you use this automation in the future. Part 2. How to find overcharge orders in less than a minute. First, we will need to download two documents from Shopee. From your Shopee Seller Center, select My Income. Then under My Tax Invoices, click More. Download the itemized billing report for the desired period. Keep this SPX invoice report handy, as we'll use it in the next step. Open the downloaded SPX invoice and click Enable Editing if prompted. Before we download the second document, we will need to know the date range for the orders in this SPX invoice. Look under the Order ID column. The first order is the oldest order ID in the SPX invoice. Order ID is formatted as year, month, date, and then followed by random numbers and alphabets behind. In this example, 241904 corresponds to 4 November 2024. Note this date for the next step. Next, find the most recent order ID in the same column by scrolling to the last order ID. In this example, 241128 corresponds to 28 November 2024. Make a note of this as well. Now go back to your Shopee Seller Center. Go to My Orders, then click on the Completed tab at the top. Click Export to download your completed orders data. Choose the date range for the data based on the oldest and most recent dates we've identified earlier. I like to include a buffer by selecting a larger date range. The max selectable range is 30 days. Once the range is selected, click Export. Under Export History, click Download for the newly created file and save it for use in the next steps. Open the downloaded completed orders file in Excel and click Enable Editing if prompted. Right-click on the Orders Worksheet tab and select Move or Copy from the menu. This prepares the worksheet to be transferred to the SPX Invoice Workbook. In the Move or Copy dialog box, choose the SPX Invoice Workbook as the destination under the To Book drop-down. Make sure to tick the Create a Copy checkbox, then click OK to confirm. Switch back to your SPX Invoice Workbook. You should see the Completed Orders worksheet added alongside the existing tab. This setup ensures the macro has access to both datasets for the completed orders and SPX shipping charges. Now for the exciting part, go to the Developer tab, click the Click to Run button. Within seconds, the macro will clean, organize, and collate your data. And just like that, the checking and compilation is all done for you, in a matter of seconds. The macro takes care of everything without you having to break a sweat. Once the automation is completed, it generates the following worksheets for your review. The Itemized Billing Original Worksheet contains the raw SPX invoice data downloaded from Shopee Seller Center. It contains the unprocessed data for your reference. The Orders Worksheet contains the raw completed orders data downloaded from Shopee Seller Center. Use this for cross-checking order details if needed. The Itemized Billing Worksheet highlights orders where shipping fees are charged above the lowest tier to allow you to quickly identify potential overcharges. The data worksheet is the output you want. It includes the following information, all retrieved and matched automatically for you. Order ID for potentially overcharged orders. Tracking number matched to the order ID. SKUs in the order. Quantity per SKU in the order. Return quantity, applicable for return refund cases. Order total weight, needed for submission. No more spending hours matching order IDs with tracking IDs. No more copying and pasting SKUs to find the weight in the seller center. No more manually calculating the total weight for each and every order. No more copying and pasting all your workings into another sheet before submission. Everything is automated and organized, saving you time and effort while eliminating the need for you to sift through hundreds or thousands of rows of information. Some extras before we wrap up. Here's one last tip for using the data worksheet effectively. You can use column Y to add any comments, such as the Google Drive folder URL where you've stored the photo evidence or additional notes for reference within your team. Once everything is ready, simply copy and paste the collated information into Shopee's Google Sheet for submission. This final step ensures your submission is complete and professional, with all the necessary details easily accessible. And that's it. You've successfully set up and used an Excel macro to save time and effort on data cleaning. No more manual matching or hours spent sorting through rows of data. Thank you for watching, and if you found this helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tutorials to boost your productivity.